Welcome to Infinity Reviews. Oh no! Oh my god! No way! Oh, it's Sabretooth! Oh, look at these fights! Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to another movie review. And today we'll be talking about Captain America, Brave New World. Now let's just get all out of the way. This movie's okay. It is okay. Which, by standards, it's a mediocre movie. You know, there are good things about the movie. There are good things about this film. But there's also a couple of bad things as well about the movie. And you know, I did not have high expectations going into the movie. To be quite honest, I did not have high expectations. My expectations were like, see, I know about the delays. I know about the reshoot. So I was like, okay, I'm not expecting it to be great. I don't need this movie to be great. I just needed to enjoy the movie. And one thing had to happen for me. One thing had to happen. This needed to cement Sam Wilson as not just Captain America, because he was already cemented as Captain America, in my opinion, in The Falcon and Winter Soldier. But he needed to be cemented as a leader, someone who could lead the Avengers, who could lead a group of powerful individuals. And at the end of the movie, I felt Sam Wilson was that guy. I felt like this guy can lead the Avengers. But that doesn't mean there weren't some bad things. Let's start off with some of the bad things. The fight choreography is some of the worst I've seen in a Marvel movie. I'm sorry, but it looks like they hired the stunt people who did, like, the CW shows. Like, it didn't feel like, in a world where we have fight scenes, like, from Shang-Chi, even fight scenes from some of the shows, like Daredevil, Hawkeye, you know, those fight scenes are entertaining. They were so bad here. Even the fight scenes in Falcon and Winter Soldier were better than them here. It was sloppy. It was stiff. It felt like, That's what the fight scenes felt like. It did. Now, I'm not saying like all the fight scenes. I'm saying like the hand-to-hand combat scenes. That is what it felt like. It really did feel that way. So that was one of my negatives. Another negative for me was the leader. Not only in the way he looked, but just how he was he's a Marvel villain we will never see again. I'm going to say that right now. We will never see the leader again. First off, the look for the leader is absolutely horrendous. Not because it's horrendous, like, ew, that's gross. No, it's just terrible. It's fucking terrible. Like, it's so bad. Like, of all the things on comics, are like, this is going to look good for the leader. I'm like, I was watching, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, ugh, that doesn't look right. Not right because it was horrendous. Just it looked bad. And the leader honestly was like so bad. The leader in the comics that I have read, in the cartoon shows I watched when I was a kid, this is a calculating guy who's always 500 steps ahead of you. When Hulk, Abomination are people who have brute strength, the leader is someone who whole of his strength is in his mind. And they were just, his whole freaking plan was like, I want to show the world what Ross did to me. You know, like an angry child's like, anyway, you know what he did to me, me. I'm like, okay, why do you have to kill a bunch of people to prove that? Like, his logic did not get me to be on his side. With a villain, there are villains in MCU that make you want to be like, I'm on the side of that guy. You know, that guy, I'm on the side of. You know, I go back to Iron Man 2, which is by far a mediocre MCU movie. A mediocre MCU movie. But the villain in that movie, Whiplash, you get where he comes from. You're kind of like, hey, you know, I'm kind of on this guy's side, you know. Tony's dad kind of robbed him a little bit. And they kind of it's a little bit similar to the leader, you know. I'm not going to say a lot of spoilers, but the leader, you know, it's revealed, you know, that he has been imprisoned for all the years, that he has been held by President Ross, and Ross has kind of used him to, like, his brain to make advanced technology. And the whole thing was like, I promise you, once you get out, once you get out, once I'm president, I'll make your life better. I will make your life better and give it back to him. And of course, his whole thing is like, he lied to me. I got to get back at him. And I'm like, okay, this is your grand plan. This is your grand plan leader. So I actually think this is one of the worst MCU villains to ever see on screen. And I think also it was very disappointing to see a guy like the leader be in that position. You know, it was just hard to see. Now, there are negatives, but there are some positives too. Number one, the Celestial Island fight and the Red Hulk fight were great. Let's talk about the Celestial Island fight. The thing with the Celestial Island fight that I loved is that it felt close to Top Gun. I think that's what they're trying to imitate here. Is like, how can we do a dogfight in the MCU and make it superhero-y? Well, you bring out Falcon, you bring out Captain America and have them go fight off these fighter jets and trying to stop these like aircraft carriers from blowing up. Like, it was a really great scene. Really great scene. CGI wasn't perfect, but it was a great scene. I loved it, and it showed like how badass, honestly, Sam Wilson can be as Captain America. Like how he uses the shield differently in flight than what Steve Rogers would do. You know, and that's what I liked. Another thing, Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie's great movie. We'll get into him in a moment because I want to go through each character. But let's just talk about the final fight, and that was with Red Hulk. I love the fight. It was a great fight. It was way too damn short, Marvel. Like, literally, like, he turned the Red Hulk, fought at the White House, then he went to a cherry blossom field, and then that was it. That was it. I was like, you couldn't have made it a bit longer? Just how, like, we saw in rumors, like, oh, the Red Hulk fight's only for, like, 3 minutes. I'm like, no way they're doing that. He's in every trailer. He's a big thing they're tagging in the trailers. It's true. It's only 3 minutes of a Red Hulk fight. That was very disappointing for me because I was expecting, maybe, like, a 10 to 15-minute fight, and it was really, really short. And I was like, oh, no, why'd you do that? They're literally, like, trying to set up the Harrison Ford to return the Red Hulk, like, throughout the entire movie. And, like, it was a great fight, but it was way too short. It's way too short. And a lot of you are going to ask, like, oh, did Sam Wilson beat him? Yeah, he beat him. He beat him, but it was most kind of a tie. Or maybe Red Hulk kind of whooped his ass. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they didn't have, like, Sam Wilson totally destroying him. The only way Sam was able to beat him was through talking to Ross. That was the only way he's going to beat him. So I like that happened. And I really love now we have another Berserker Hulk in the MCU. But yeah, now let's get into the characters. And we're going to start off with the first one, which is Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I thought he was great. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I didn't need the movie to be good. All I wanted was, can this cement Sam Wilson, not just as Captain America, but as a leader? And I think he did that. Given the movie all its flaws, there are a lot of flaws, writing especially one of them. Anthony Mackie's performance, the thing about Anthony Mackie is like, Anthony Mackie's a very funny guy, but, and he tells jokes in the movie as well. A lot of the jokes don't land, I'll just say that. But the moments when he's serious, when he's having heartfelt conversations with Isaiah, with Harrison Ford, even with a Joaquin Torres, those are the moments I think that make the film. Just Sam having a heart-to-heart with someone. I think those are some of the best moments in the film. And the moments that made me smile the most. Sure, the action's great, but the moments you can see Sam being a leader, being someone, that you can talk to, someone you would trust. I think that works. That works in the movie, and I think, that's one of the things that works for me. It works. And, I do think, there's been a lot of people online saying, like, Sam Wilson, he's not Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is the only Captain America. I'm like, that's a terrible luck to have. If your logic is going to a movie that the main character you're about to watch is only one person and can't be another person, it's stupid. I was talking about this when the Rotten Tomatoes score came out. Let's talk about it. Video out right now. I was saying there have been other Spider-Man. Are you saying that Peter Parker's the only one who can be Spider-Man? Are you saying Miles Morales has no right to be Spider-Man? When, in fact, Miles Morales is sometimes even a better Spider-Man than Peter Parker? Are you saying that there's only one Batman? Because what about what about Terry McGinnis? Can he not be Batman? What about Superman? There's Superman. Val Zod, there's Supergirl. Why can't those people be the same symbol that they were? I think the logic is just flawed in that, with them just loving Chris Evans and not wanting change in the MCU. Because, we want new things. Sure, this did not work, this did not work. That doesn't take away that I do not think Sam Wilson is worthy to be Captain America. I believe he is definitely worthy to be Captain America. I honestly sometimes feel, through the different experiences that Chris Evans had as Captain America in the movies, and Sam Wilson had, they come from very different backgrounds. Chris Evans was a hardened soldier. He was fighting his entire life. Well, Sam Wilson, he got out of the fight, and he wanted not just to fight, but to help people find a way out of the fight, to return home. Like, they say in the movie a lot of ways, like Isaiah's like, are you trying to get in my mind, like using your little psychiatry on me, Sam? And those are the moments. Those are the moments I think where Sam is really effective as Captain America, and I think he steals the movie. Now let's move on to the next character, who's the other kind of main lead, which is Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross. I thought it was okay. I thought Ross was okay. Thunderbolt Ross, I've been very excited to see him, become Red Hulk. Red Hulk stuff was great. There were moments when he was good. But there are others where I was like, he's kind of phoning it in. Like Harrison Ford said in interviews, he's like, I did it for the money. And, maybe that's it. Like, not get me wrong, Harrison Ford's one of the greatest actors of our time. He's been probably in the most celebrated movies of all time. I just, there were parts of Ross where I was like, okay, this kind of works. I love the parts with him descending into madness and with becoming Red Hulk. I thought that was great. But to be quite honest, I think there were times, where he was a bit too much over the top. Too much over the top. And, the whole thing about his character is like, he's trying to change. He doesn't want to be the same guy who chased down the Hulk in Brooklyn. He doesn't want to be the guy who split up the Avengers. He's trying to change. And, through the movie, we see him trying to change, but there are times where it's like, is he really changing, or is he just trying to fake it? Is he trying to fake it? And, I thought that was good about the performance, but also, I just think there were moments when he just, wasn't at his best. This is not the best Harrison Ford performance. I think it was an okay performance. And now let's go on to the next character, which is Danny Ramirez as the Falcon, aka Joaquin Torres. I originally thought when I saw clips and trailers that this character would be annoying. In the beginning of the film, I see he's annoying. I think he's a bit too jokey, and through the film he stays a bit too jokey. But one of my favorite things about the movie is that he grows in the movie. I don't get a lot of people talking about that. The character of the Falcon grows in the movie, where he's just kind of, this kid is like, oh, I can't wait to be a superhero. I'm having fun doing this, having fun working alongside Captain America. And then, something happens to him in the movie where he gets hurt, and he kind of has this character growth where he's like, oh, I messed up. I'm really sorry. And there's this really powerful moment between him and Sam at the end of the movie, where, he's like, I look, when I was a kid, and I saw you on the news, I didn't look at the Hulk. I didn't look at Thor and said, I didn't want to be those guys. I looked at you. Because I could see myself being you. And I think that's the thing about Sam Wilson. Other people can see him through him. That's the thing. And that's what I love about him not having the super soldier serum. That, a normal person can be like, oh, I can't be Captain America. Look at that guy. He's looking like The Rock. He can lift helicopters, he can throw motorcycles at people. I can't ever be that guy. But you look at Sam Wilson, a guy who has no powers. All he's got is his shield, his military experience, and his wits. And a kid looks at him and is like, I can be that guy. I can be Captain America. And I think that's who Sam Wilson can be. I don't really think they focused on that message enough in the film, but I'm glad they elaborate on it. And that's kind of like Walking Phoenix. He had a bit of a character arc, the character was a bit annoying, but overall, I didn't hate the character. Alright, and let's move on to this last character here, which is Giancarlo Esposito. He was wasted in the movie. When they announced him as Sidewinder, I knew it'd be a wasted role because he's playing someone in the Serpent Society, which is like a bunch of people in the comics dressed up in snake outfits, which I'm like, no. And one of the lines I really loved in the trailer that Giancarlo says, like, Captain America caught without his wings. That doesn't make it in the movie. He has nothing to do in this movie. He's just the guy, like, being hired by the leader to take out Captain America. And that's it for him. You know, I think it was a wasted role. Could I see him possibly coming back, maybe being on a Thunderbolts 2 or 3 if they get that? Maybe showing up with his Serpent Society in a new Captain America film? Yes, I can see that. But overall, it was a wasted role. They did not utilize Giancarlo Esposito. They didn't use Gus Fring, because we know Giancarlo can be great. He can be great. But I think it was very much a misuse. And you also can tell through the scenes where the reshoots were, because Giancarlo did come in through the reshoots, and you can tell, like, okay, this doesn't really fit right here. That was another thing in the movie. It was like, that doesn't really fit for what's going on there, you know, in the movie. And some final thoughts on the movie. Another couple of bad things. The writing, really, really bad. It's horrendous writing. I felt like I was watching a CW show. That was probably the weakest point in the movie, was the writing. The writing is just bad, guys. Marvel, I get, you know, you want to make these movies, but if you're going to make a movie, go get out someone who can write a film. Like, where are all those writers who wrote all those other Marvel movies for you during Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3, who are great? Why are they? It was just, it was just not good writing. And, you know, overall, I'm going to give this movie, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. A 5 out of 10. I'm with the audience. Like, this is an okay Marvel movie. It's not Quantumania bad, you know? It's not Thor the Dark World bad. But it's still not a great MCU movie. Does it totally diminish my, you know, hope in the MCU? No, it doesn't. Because I see Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts gives me hope. Fantastic Four, something different, gives me hope. Daredevil, we got things to look forward to. And this was under the Chapek era, where it was like, where Chapek was literally telling people, pump out as much shit as you can. Don't worry about how good it is. Just get it out there. And this was like one of the last final projects. I think it actually is the final project under the Chapek era. So I think after this movie, I expect Marvel to get back to their A game. Before they were like, just make shit. Who cares if it's good? People are going to go see it. Because Chapek thought, you know, oh, audiences love Marvel, they'll go see anything. No, that's not true. We learned that with a couple movies like Ant-Man, Quantumania, and the Marvels. But overall, it was disappointing. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was okay. And I did not have high expectations for the movie, so I wasn't completely disappointed. Before that way, guys, please make sure you leave your comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.